The $10 million James Webb Space Telescope, or JWST, which was launched on Christmas 2021, is NASA's largest and most powerful science telescope. It's on a mission to probe the cosmos and uncover some big mysteries like the history of the universe, starting from the Big Bang to alien planet formation and more. The JWST's first images were recently unveiled and they're shocking. Earlier this year, the JWST turned on its instruments to take its first pictures in space. NASA engineers are still in the process of aligning its 18 gold-plated mirrors so that they peer into deep space. To help them with the process, the engineers took images using one of the telescope's infrared cameras. After its launch, the telescope arrived at its final orbit a month later, in January 2022, when it unfurled from its folded-up position along the way. Once the scientific instruments on board had cooled down enough to be operated safely, they were turned on so that they could be calibrated. Michael McElwain, a JWST scientist at the Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland, stated that the launch of the telescope and the transmission of light from a star through the system and into the detector were pinnacle moments for scientists and optical engineers. The calibration of the mirrors is one of the most important tasks for the telescope since all of them have to be perfectly aligned in order to take crystal clear images. The way to do so is to stare at a particularly bright star in the sky and track how its reflection shifts in the different segments. The work is driven by the telescope's near-infrared camera, or NIRCam. So far, the telescope has taken 2 images to help with the calibration process. The first image is a selfie of the mirrors themselves. In the picture, one of the segments appears much brighter than the others, since it's pointed directly at a bright star. On the other hand, the remaining mirrors aren't in the same alignment yet. The second image is of a star called the HD 84406, which belongs to the Ursa Major constellation, or the Big Dipper. This picture is actually a mosaic that's made of 1,560 individual shots that show 18 copies of the star, or one from each mirror. In the next few months, when all the mirrors are aligned, the segments will work together as a single mirror, and the 18 copies will be layered on top of each other. This process will facilitate the telescope to add the light reflected by all the segments together so that it can spot more distant and fainter objects in space. According to Marshall Perrin, a JWST scientist at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Maryland, these images are a great starting point for mirror alignment. The alignment process will take about 3 months in total, following which the JWST will begin taking crystal clear images of stars, exoplanets, and distant galaxies, hence bringing us closer to discovering the origins of the universe.